It's Melissa. I'm happy you're here. Guess what? I bet you're surprised to know that little babies can learn to read. This is how they start. If you've read my blog, you're probably tired of hearing over and over again how smart kids are and how much we underestimate them. But it will make me really sad if you have a kid under 6 and don't learn more about this. Wrong card. Actually, I'll be a little bit upset if you're a parent and you don't take time to learn more about this, because I believe all kids are born with genius potential. It's how we nurture that potential and how we teach them and give them a love of learning that will determine their future success. But Janet, I was reading a story one time and it was brilliant in describing the way that I always thought we teach our kids. So, what was happening in this book was there was a little boy in Maine, and his father had returned back, I think the boy was 12, to retrieve his mom and little sister. And while he was gone, the little boy came across some problems, but an Indian chief came to his rescue. This was in the 1700s, early 1800s time, to give you an example. So the grandfather and the little boy, who was English descent, struck a deal to teach the Indian's grandson how to read. So the very first attempt they had at teaching the 12-year-old boy teaching the chief's grandson how to read is he goes, "This is the letter A," and showed him the letter A in a book. And he said, A, arm, right? And so then he goes, "Can you pick out on this page all the letter A's?" So which the grandson begrudgingly agrees and goes A, all the way down this paper. So then the 12-year-old boy is dismayed because he can't understand why the grandson is not enjoying this. And the grandson very, very, very funnily replies. He says, "You white people, your language make no sense. Why you write arm all over the page?" Because he learned A meant arm. He didn't learn that A was the sound that makes ah, which is in a million words. And so that's what I did to Maddie. I said, on this side, I would have the big letter A, and then I would say apple, and then I would say A, and then I would say apple. So I'm sure she was taking it to mean that the letter A represented the apple. Is that correct?
Very likely. And imagine if we just shift from the visual pathway to the auditory pathway. What if we did that to our babies? Instead of saying, "Here's your mommy," we said, "Here's your M-O-M-M-Y." How long do you think it would take the baby, as much as he's a linguistic genius, how long do you think it would take him to figure out that's mommy, that's daddy? We would postpone that process indefinitely because it would be so asinine.
Agreed.